Dear friend, you train hard, you eat well, it should be enough to keep you in good health and physically and emotionally strong. Yet, there is a danger lurking in our bodies that are not only hidden from us, but which even doctors are failing to identify. It affects nearly everybody, no matter how active or sedentary you are, or how old or young you are. This problem affects not only our body but our whole well-being. And when I tell you what it is, you'll be shocked. Because it's tight hip flexors. You see, our hip flexors are the engine through which our body moves. They control balance, our ability to sit, stand, twist, reach, bend, walk and step. Everything goes through the hips. And when our hip flexors tighten, it causes a lot of problems in ordinarily healthy and active people, like us. Before I reveal how most people end up having tight hip flexors yet never realize it, let me introduce myself. My name is Mike Westerdahl and I'm a national best-selling fitness author, sports nutrition specialist, personal trainer, Ironman magazine contributor and founder of the internet's longest-standing strength site, criticalbench.com. In a moment, I'll reveal to you the 10 key moves you need to loosen your hip flexors and unlock the hidden power in your body. But first, let me explain just how deep-rooted the problem is. The shocking ways that tight hips are holding you back. That you won't believe. Here's the truth: most people don't realize the cause of their problems as tight hip flexors. The impact the hips had on the whole body never occurred to me until I saw the effect of tight hip flexors had on the health and well-being of my wife after she gave birth. It was only then that I truly understood the magnitude of the problem. We're not just talking about a bit of soreness. Tight hip flexors are the root cause of problems such as nagging joint pains in your legs, lower back or hips, walking with discomfort, hips locking up, bad posture, trouble sleeping, sluggishness in day-to-day life, high anxiety, digestive problems, compromised immune system, circulatory issues, loss of sexual performance, lack of explosiveness in the gym or sports. If any of these sound familiar to you, don't worry because you're not alone. Tight hip flexors affect nearly everybody, but few realize the impact on your whole body. Again, everything flows through the hips. Think of the hips as a barometer. The health and flexibility of your hip muscles are an indicator of the strength and health of our whole body. And at the very heart of this is the hidden, most powerful survival muscle. When this muscle is healthy, we are healthy. Introducing the body's most powerful, primal muscle. That you've never heard of. Your hips are the bridge between your upper body and lower body. They are at the center of your body's movement. Sitting within the well of your hip and lower spine is the psoas major muscle, one of the two muscles that make up the iliopsoas. It's often called the mighty psoas, pronounced so as for the many important functions it plays in the movement of your body. The psoas is the only muscle in the human body connecting the upper body to the lower body. The muscle attaches to the vertebrae of the lower spine, moves through the pelvis and connects to a tendon at the top of the femur. It also attaches to the diaphragm, so it's connected to your breathing, and upon it sits all the major organs. A functioning psoas muscle creates a neutral pelvic alignment, stabilizes the hips, supports the lower spine and abdomen, supports the organs in the pelvic and abdominal cavity and gives you greater mobility and core strength. When it functions well, it has the power to help you achieve peak performance day after day after day. Rapidly drop ugly body fat that stubbornly clings to your body, train harder, heavier and gain strength faster than you thought possible. Hit your peak of sexual health. Flood your mind and body with renewed energy and vigor. Put simply, this muscle is the core of activity in your body. So, when it's out of balance or if the psoas tightens, there are serious consequences which flow throughout the body. And there's one activity, in particular, that's the sworn enemy of your psoas muscle. The number one activity that's making you weaker, fatter and is killing your sex life. Sitting is harmful. It may be the most harmless activity known to man, but it's also one of the biggest dangers to your health. Sitting. Even if you're the most active of athletes, you may still suffer from a tight psoas due to the amount of time you spend each day planted to a chair. Weakness, shortening and tightness develops in the muscle through sitting for extended periods of time, poor sleep posture and even stress and tension. Here are 3 ways that sitting is killing your physical and emotional health. Bulging belly syndrome. Wonder why your stomach still sticks out even though you're hammering the core exercises every day. It's a common myth that bulging belly is due to weak abdominal muscles. The real cause is likely to be tight psoas muscles, which cause the lower back to curve, pushing out the stomach. When the psoas works properly, it pulls the abdomen back, tucking the tummy in, giving you a strong, flat stomach. Fat loss inhibitor as the body's fight or flight muscle, your psoas is deeply connected to our natural survival instinct. It instantly tightens in moments of danger to either protect you, in a fetal position, or help you run, fueled by the release of adrenaline. However, if your psoas is constantly tight, it signals to the body you are in constant danger, leading to overworking of the adrenal glands. When this happens, your immune system suffers and your body automatically switches into fat storing mode in anticipation of danger. Can't shift that weight? Blame your hips, also known as your survival muscle. Lack of sexual performance sitting all day causes your hips to become stuck in a forward thrust position. This leads to pulling on the lower back and decreased blood flow and circulation through the hips and to where it matters. Sitting is your enemy in the quest to discover peak health because of the wide-ranging impact it causes to your most vital muscle. What your physician isn't telling you. And what they don't know: diagnosing tight hip flexors is tricky. If you've seen a therapist or physician, chances are they weren't able to pinpoint the issue. Buried so deep within your abdomen, it's no wonder identifying it as the root cause of any of your symptoms is difficult to do. It's why tight hip flexors are left undiagnosed and untreated for far too long, as physicians look for a simpler explanation. So understand that it's not your fault. However, knowing these hands you the power to finally do something about it before it's too late. Why static stretching alone isn't the answer. Knowing you have tight hip flexors is one thing. Knowing how to fix your hip flexors is another challenge altogether. If you trust so-called experts on YouTube and online, they'll have you believe it's simply a case of holding a few static stretches for a period of time to try and lengthen the muscle. Or rolling around with a tennis ball stuck to your hip, as if that will really make any difference. It takes more than a tennis ball and foam roller to unlock your hip flexors, and doing it wrong could cause even more damage. The reason few people manage to fix their hip flexors is simple. It's really a hard area to reach. If you see how the psoas is attached within your body, it's buried deep inside your core, making it tough to access. It's a hard muscle to find, let alone train. Hip flexor exercises. Static stretching has its place, but the stretch you see above is the best stretch to do in the morning. So it's little wonder why trying to loosen it requires more than a simple static hip flexor stretch like the one below. You've probably tried before. You've probably found you're spending or wasting hours of your time stretching this way only to find it's having minimal effect. That's because you need to attack the muscle from a variety of angles using a variety of exercise techniques and modalities in order to unpack the muscle in the right way. The truth is, you can learn to release your tight hip flexors on your own. If you think of your psoas as a combination safe lock, there are several numbers that will unlock it, but they need to be entered in the right order. There are a number of specific movements beyond simple static stretching you can use to unlock and loosen your hips, legs and back. Some of these include PNF stretching. PNF stretching. PNF is an acronym for proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. It is a technique where you are activating a specific muscle in order to relax the muscles around a joint so you can decrease the stiffness around a joint. Dynamic stretching. This is where you are activating the muscle around a joint and moving that joint through its full range of motion in a progressive manner. This leads to an increased range of motion around the joint, warming up of the muscle around the joint and improved circulation around the joint. Think of high knees or butt kicks. 3-dimensional core stability exercises. With these exercises, we are targeting the muscle in all planes of movement so the core and abdominal muscles have good activation, endurance and strength in all planes of movement, which leads to a decrease in unnecessary damaging stress on joints. Mobility exercises. In these exercises, we are targeting the joint and doing movements and exercises that help the joint function optimally. This allows a joint to move more freely. Fascia stretching. In this unique technique, we are targeting the tissue that muscles are surrounded in and working on loosening and lengthening the fascia. Few people understand the negative effect this tissue can have on your body. Muscle activation movements. Due to all of our sitting and daily technology use, many of our muscles are not working properly. With this technique, we're targeting those muscles that are off and activate them in order to help the body move more efficiently. Now you know the specific techniques you need to unlock your hip flexors. The next question is how to combine these in the most effective way. Please don't be overwhelmed by the chop talk above. Take action today. See the link at the description below and get yours at a discounted price. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel.